It's Friday, it's 2 p.m. in the UK, it's 9 a.m. on the East Coast, and we're back with season 3, episode 1 of Ask Angelika, and today we're visiting Berlin. And I want to take this down off screen and come back to the two of us and remove that from screen and say, hello, Angelika.
Hello, Stephen.
It's good to see you again. I mean, it's been, it's July since we were last here. I was just looking back, it's sort of July 11th, which is a long time ago. So we've had a good break in between. But this is first episode of season 3. Just to confirm that. And welcome to the show, everybody. And to explain what happens, I'll hand over to Angelika in a moment. But basically, Angelika has chosen a topic. She's given me phrases to read out. Angelika will correct my pronunciation, and then we'll go on and actually translate. If you want to play along, please do. But first, Angelika, with, well, what the show is all about.
Okay, yes, it's been a 2-month break. And in the last season, we certainly, the two of us, enjoyed going around places in Wiltshire and doing some recordings and telling people about some really nice places in Wiltshire in German. So season 3, I thought we go and have a look at German places. Now, unfortunately, the budget doesn't allow for us to visit all these places ourselves. Now, that would be good, wouldn't it? I know. That would be really good if we could go around all these places. But what I thought we do is, so we take I deliberately say place because it may be a big city, it may be a tiny village or anything. So a German place. And I choose 5 sentences. Although sometimes they may break up. So today, for example, we have 6 because one sentence comes in 2 parts. My plan is to start off with easier sentences, and so sentence 1 is easy and sentence 5 is a little bit more advanced or difficult. But that sometimes is a bit difficult for me. So bear with me if I think sentence 1 is a really nice, easy one, and it doesn't turn out to be easy. That we can only find out, well, I can find out with the help of Stephen.
Indeed, and that's time to play my part. And welcome to everybody who's watching the show. If you're not watching on the Be Live in 5 page, you'll find a link up above. Click that link, come and join Angelika and I, and ask your questions and play along as we go through the phrases that Angelika's actually put together. So, at the beginning is phrase 1. Okay, now as you know, I'm going to read this, and pronunciation is key here. We're off to France in 2 weeks, and we're meeting our German friends from Weimringen. So I need all the practice I can get between now and then. Berlin ist die Hauptstadt Deutschlands.
So straight away we're having half a sentence. So Berlin ist die Hauptstadt Deutschlands.
Right, okay. So if you said that phrase, well done. And we're going to translate that. And hopefully, I mean, I'm still taking German lessons, so hopefully we've improved since July. Berlin is the capital city of Germany.
Yeah. Now, I could have also written Berlin ist die Hauptstadt von Deutschland. And that would be your literal translation then of Germany. But most of the times here we use what is called the genitive. So Berlin is the capital of Germany. Berlin ist die Hauptstadt Deutschlands. But it's a little bit more, which comes in the second bit.
Right, we'll bring up the second sentence, which reads as follows. Und zugleich ein Bundesland.
Pretty close. Zugleich.
Zugleich.
Yeah,
right.
this is the bit. Yeah, I was going to say this is the bit where lots of English speakers they get the EI and the IE mixed up. And this one is EI, so it's zugleich.
Yeah.
The rest was fine. Und zugleich ein Bundesland.
Yeah. One of the things you can't do is skim read. You've actually got to read it properly, which I will now. Und zugleich ein Bundesland. And the D is actually a T. Bundesland. Yeah.
Bundesland? No, that's correct.
Oh, okay. No, I meant it sounds like.
Oh, I see the pronunciation. Yes. Yes, sorry. I thought you meant the spelling.
Right. Okay. And I've got this is my first where I say I haven't a clue of the season 3 in translating.
Right. Okay. Well, zugleich, yeah, is at the same time.
Yeah.
But what's a Bundesland?
Country.
Close. Well, sort of. If you think that England is divided into counties, and America or US is divided into states, and what does Germany consist of?
Germany consists of areas. I don't know. Can you just?
They're in size-wise. They're in between, so they're not counties because they're bigger than counties.
Okay.
But they're not like American states either because they're not that big either. But it does get translated as states, and but Bundesland is also is a federal state, so it's one of the German federal states. Now I could do a second question. How many of them are there?
A lot. I don't know. 20?
Not that many. 16.
16. So
yeah.
16. Okay. All
16 good. States. So Germany is divided into 16 states, or if I say 16 areas, if you sort of visualize a map in front of you, and although Berlin is a city, it is also a state.
Right. Gotcha. Right. Phrase 3, and as I say, if you're on the Be Live in 5 page, you can actually comment. Hopefully, fingers crossed. And phrase 3, bringing that up on screen, and I will read it out. Berlin wurde vor fast 800 Jahren gegründet. Gegründet.
No, you were right first time.
Gegründet.
Gegründet, ja. Berlin wurde vor fast 800 Jahren gegründet.
Right. Okay. And Berlin, straightforward. Wurde is the tense, means was, and 800 years, before 800, founded over 800 years ago.
Not over, nearly 800 years ago.
Right. Okay.
Fast means nearly. So
nearly.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got the translation. We got there in the end. Berlin was founded almost 800 years ago. Okay. And phrase 4. Zwei Flüsse. Thank you. This is a tongue twister, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, no, it isn't, but yeah. Well, it's working out to be one. Zwei Flüsse fließen durch die Stadt, die Spree und die Havel.
Yeah. So zwei Flüsse fließen. Actually, I have to say it slow as well. Zwei Flüsse fließen durch die Stadt, die Spree und die Havel.
Right. Okay. Fließen is to fly. 2.
Fließen is not to fly. Fliegen is to fly.
Ah, right. Fließen. Through the city. Okay. 2. Flüsse fließen.
Right. If I give you the singular, yeah. So if it was 1, it would be Fluss.
Okay. Anybody got any ideas?
I was going to say, die Themse ist ein Fluss.
2 rivers.
Yeah.
Flow.
Yeah. So they don't fly, they flow. Yeah.
2 rivers flow through the city, and I'm going to name them. That's the Spree. Yeah. Sorry, the Spree and the Havel.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for the help. Right. So translation, correct translation is two rivers flow through the city, the Spree and the Havel. Okay, phrase 5. Again, we're talking about Berlin, and die erste deutsche U-Bahn wurde 1902 in Berlin eröffnet.
Eröffnet, ja. Die erste deutsche U-Bahn wurde 1902 in Berlin eröffnet.
Right, the first German U-Bahn, we call it U-Bahn in English as well, don't we?
Do we?
I don't know. I would.
Okay.
Railway?
Underground.
Underground railway. That's what the U stands for. Unter.
Unter, yeah.
Was opened in Berlin in 1902. So the
Yeah.
first underground German railway was opened in Berlin in 1902, which is after the underground in London.
Yes, I looked it up. I've forgotten the date now. It was 1800 something when it was opened in London.
Okay, and the official translation is the first German underground was opened in Berlin in 1902. And the final phrase today, before we reminisce for a moment, phrase 6. Okay, I've read it. I've considered it. I'm going to take a shot at it. Ein beliebtes Mitbringsel für Touristen ist das Ampelmännchen aus Berlin.
Ein beliebtes Mitbringsel für Touristen ist das Ampelmännchen aus Berlin.
Right. So, a big attraction for visitors is Ampelmännchen is the same, or Ampelmännchen is the same. The only way to describe this one is if you could actually show us what they look like.
I will do that in a minute.
Okay.
But it's not attraction. Well, it is an attraction. You're absolutely right. No, let me show you then first. Ampelmännchen. I think, yes, sometimes people do call it like here as well, because we don't really have a word for it. But that is the Ampelmännchen. It is the little traffic light man for pedestrian traffic lights.
Right.
These are 2 postcards that I bought. But what's the word Mitbringsel? I could have used a different word, in which case you would have recognized it straight away. But I quite like the word Mitbringsel.
Mitbringsel. Mit is with.
Yeah. There is a verb which is called mitbringen. No, I'm going to give up on this one. Bring with, no. Okay, if I'd written down, ein beliebtes Souvenir für Touristen ist das Ampelmännchen aus Berlin.
A souvenir.
Yeah, Mitbringsel is something that you bring with you. You're buying it when you're going on holidays and you bring it back home with you as a souvenir.
A takeaway. A keepsake, a memory.
Yeah, it is something you bring back, and it's either for yourself or it's for friends and relatives or whatever.
Yeah.
And beliebt?
Lovely?
They are lovely, but no, there's popular.
Popular.
Yeah.
Okay, we're learning today. Right, so a popular souvenir for tourists is the Ampelmännchen of Berlin, but it's not the whole of Berlin, is it?
Well, first of all, no, that's the one thing about the Ampelmännchen. I think we need to talk a little bit about the little traffic light man. It was somebody in East Germany when it still was West Germany and East Germany. He invented it because the little traffic light man, which probably nobody really pays any attention to, apart from that we're watching when it goes from red to green so we can cross the road. Yep. It's a fairly thin figure, and they found out that if it's really bright sunlight, it sometimes, or it was, quite difficult to see. So people weren't quite sure, is it still the green one or the red one? And actually, I mean, I've seen that before, but then I'll just go whether it's the top one or the bottom one. But anyway,
Right.
so this inventor decided to make a new one, which looks a bit childlike, if I point again, but it's a lot thicker figure rather than the thin normal one, which is a lot easier to see. And then what happened is when the wall came down, so yes, in East Germany, they had the Ampelmännchen, which is lovingly called, whereas in Germany, I don't think anybody, West Germany or West Berlin, I don't think anybody really called it the Ampelmännchen. It's just one of those things. Yeah, you just use it to cross a road. So when the wall came down and a lot of East German things sort of disappeared initially, they also started to get rid of the Ampelmännchen. And there was a big uproar because it's a cute traffic light man and they wanted to keep it. And they have. And to start off with, and that's well, what you just said, it was in the East only. When we were in Berlin, which is now 4 years ago, 4 years ago, yeah. We could always tell whether we were in the former East Berlin or the former West Berlin by just looking what the traffic light looks like. It's become so popular now that actually some other towns have are using it as well.
All right, they've adopted it too.
They've adopted it too. So I'm not too sure anymore whether in Berlin it really is only in the East. It may have sneaked onto other traffic lights as well. But if you Google Ampelmännchen, you'll see some in Austria and other towns in Germany, and they don't always necessarily look like this. I've seen one once at, I think it was an Austrian town or southern German town, where they had some skiing events. So they had all these different skiers on there. So the little man is changing from your standard green man or red one to whatever may be popular for the town. And the reason why this one is such a popular souvenir is there are now 2 or 3, I think possibly even, shops in Berlin. There is a website, ampelmann.de, where you can buy all sorts of things. And actually you can buy, I mean, when we went to Dresden, there lots of the souvenir shops there had Ampelmännchen souvenirs, from table lamps to bookmarks, and there are towels, there are jumpers, there are bags, all sorts of things you can buy with either the green or the red or both on them. So it is very popular.
It is. And we went into the shop in Berlin, and that's where the postcards come from.
Yes.
You want to show them again?
Exactly. I'll show them again. Which one first? The red one first, when you have to stop.
Yeah.
You can't go yet. You can't go yet. You'll have to wait until this one turns up.
Brilliant. Memories of Berlin.
Absolutely.
But, I mean, Berlin is a sort of I'll say it in a minute, cosmopolitan place, isn't it? It's a very friendly place.
Yes.
Yeah. And
yes, I certainly thought it was.
Certainly. I mean, walking around the streets, you see so many different people from all around the world. And there are so many things in Berlin to go and see and do. It's an amazing city. And as Angelika said, we were fortunate to actually go there 4 years ago. Where are we going to go in 2 weeks? Where are we going to go?
I haven't decided yet. I don't know yet. You'll have to wait and see.
So you can read my mind. Right, to everybody who has been watching, I thank you from me, and it's over to Angelika to close the show.
Yes, well, I hope you enjoyed this. I haven't decided which town to go or which city to go to next, but something tells me I have got a huge choice of which one to take. So I think if this turns out well, we could have a few years of season 3 before we manage to do all the places in Germany, but I'm sure it will be a really nice one. And if you want to join us again, the next one is on the 27th of September.
2 weeks
And
time.
I look forward to it. 2 weeks time. Yeah.
Me too. Tschüss von mir.
Oh, und tschüss von mir.
Got you. Okay. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye.